All right, so I went ahead and took off the back seats. I'm gonna go ahead and do this JB fuel pump mod with the new fuel pump. It's a 500 liter per hour E85. I'm pretty sure I chose the 8 AN feed and the 6 AN return. There's gonna be a lot to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this lid off. It's 3. All right, once that's done, disconnect the fuel pump for the power signal level and kind of move it to the side. Once you're there, I've already had this pump out before when I did the 255. So you'll want to disconnect this right here, which is the power to the pump. Let's see, and level. This one's always a bitch. Give me a second. All right, so connector's off, all the bolts are off. I still got fuel in here. I think it's mixed with storage and seafoam, just so there's no corrosion or nastiness in the pump. But since I don't need it anymore, let's see. All I might do is, as soon as I get the car started up and that time comes, I'll go ahead and pump out the feed and all that shit. And damn, the thing is nasty. Well, it's not dirty like most. A lot of Hondas I've had in the past are not really yellow. That's just like the fuel content in it. Usually they're like dark brown and nasty, but all right, so I got everything in a somewhat clean working space. Anyways, I thought I cleaned most of the table, so I moved that. Anyways, back to the point. I got a Walbro E85 pump. This is a 500, I think it's 500, 525. It's E85. This is the part number you need if you want the E85. There's another version of the exact same fuel pump, but it is a non-E85, so it will corrode up, it will be all nasty and stuff like that. Definitely, this is the part number you need for your Integra Civic. You might be able to use it on the RSX and everything else, but that's the one you need. Also, this is the JB tuned hanger mod kit. Sorry, I'm burping up and stuff like that from drinking. But anyways, we got, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the return, and this is going to be the feed. Well, actually, this is for the wire. This is the bulkhead right here, and then here's the feed, and this is just going to go with the clear tubing, the nylon, E85 approved. Clamp it down, put the pump on, take this 255 fuel pump off of it, and we'll have to drill and return. I think we're actually keeping the feed, but let's see. Because we use the feed as a return, which is going to convert it to 6 AN. Yeah, too small. So that would be the one. I just have to remove these clips real quick, which it comes with new ones. You don't have to reuse these. So now it'll just lock on to there when I snap it in, call it a day. So what we're gonna have to do is cut this one off, and on the bottom side, I'll have to cut and trim some of this right off, and then drill a hole that's big enough for this bulkhead here. Should have opened this before that, but I mean, this is real as it gets, so I don't have to do any editing or, you know, faking it, making it look like magic and shit, because that's not what I am. That's the bulkhead for the wires for the pump, and this right here. So it's got to be this big to come through. Let's see. Okay, so the diameter just has to be as big as the thread so it can come through. And then you put a washer on the bottom, washer on top, tighten down the bulkhead. I'm going to put some thread sealer. That way this thing doesn't vibrate loose. And then this will be for the feed. So I'm definitely gonna have to cut that off and then drill the absolute biggest fucking hole. But I'll have to remove my, oh, excuse me. I'll have to remove this 255, and it's been a while since I've done this, like about 4 years now. So let's see, without trying to break it, because fuel just makes things like plastic brittle and rubber. So I'm trying to like do it without just finessing it, kind of being easy on it. If I go full send, it'll break. Ah, sorry, so that's off. I'm not gonna need it because with this fuel pump mod, I gotta go look in the box because I bought a full kit. It comes with a new pigtail for the bulkhead, and I have to solder wires up top because I'm using a Burton Racing fuel pump harness, the relay harness from them that makes it 14 volts instead of 12, so it doesn't lose power throughout the RPM ranges. And the faster you go, sometimes the draw starts pulling down the power, and then you don't get a full 12 volt. You get it, you don't get a full 12 volts. You get like, I think it's like 8 or 9 where it drops down, where it fluctuates. The car's still running at a full 14 volts while driving, but your electronics suffer as you go. So I'm gonna take this off. I say a lot. I'm trying to break the habit since this is new. I gotta get a little bit comfortable on the camera. Thanks for pointing that out, my homie Joel. I said Joey because I call my son, they have the same name, and I call my son Joel. But I mean, within the first turn, that bitch stripped out. Let's see if I have another screwdriver around here. It's gonna move that. Oops. Let's see if that's back in the same place, or at least close enough. That'll work. Let's see. Man, I bet strip some more after it came loose. Well, I'm just gonna leave that alone. Let's put this aside and get the feed hose off of this clamp, which I started taking loose. That's off. Wonder if I should leave that on. Because I gotta have something to drain it. Well, yeah, so I might have to just pull it, throw it out this way. That way it's just pouring straight down into the tank. That would make sense. So let's see. I know it looks ghetto, but it works. There we go. So once that's off, you can pretty much take it off the hose if it wants to come off. Yeah, I hate brake fluid, coolant, and gas is the absolute worst thing. I hate the smell on my hands. like just touching texture. I don't care too much for the smell, but that's off. I might need this. So if I remember correctly, it's got a little clip holding this sock on. Right there, that little clip. And you don't want to lose it. I don't know if the new pump comes with it. I haven't even opened it up since I bought it. But I might be able just to pry it up and it'll come off. I don't know. I usually break more stuff than needs to be. But there we go. And it's off. I'll put that there. And then I feel like I'm missing something. It's been quite a long time since I've done this. All right, so this pump is off. I don't see any burn marks on the terminals or anything like that. Usually you can see signs of wear just from burning and stuff. I had an issue where it wanted to lose fuel pressure, and then it would start idling like it's super cammed, like stage 4 cam or something like that, at idle without timing or corrected or adjusted. It ran like shit, and it was very disappointing. That's what made me want to pull the swap and do everything else. But I mean, not over just the fuel pump, but just everything that went along with it. So we'll get that out of the way. That's on, that's done, that's done. And I guess we'll put this on the vise. There goes that clamp. I don't want to put it too tight because I mean, it doesn't really matter if it gets bent, but just so I'm not being a savage. Let's see. I'm not even sure if that's recording still. Yes, still recording. And it's got so I got that on the vise. I don't know where I dropped that clamp. There it goes. But we'll get back to that in a little bit. So on this fuel pump, let's see. I just clamp and hose for the turn. Now on Hondas, here's the tip. Whenever you get these fuel pumps aftermarket, they give you this square one. When you're going around turns, or you have like really low fuel and you're going around turns, hard braking, harsh pull-offs, you start to starve this because it's not like this. As you can see, if you put these real close to place, look how much extra that's in the tank. Now imagine you're at an angle, because that's where it comes into the pump like this. It's at an angle. You see how this is like that? So this is the top of the pump right here. Look how much more you have that can get fuel starvation. And it's wider, but it's not fully submerged in the fuel. So imagine doing turns and stuff like that, and that fuel's just right under it, back and forth, where it's going to fuel sloshing back to the front pump and you have really low fuel or something like that. You don't want to use these. These are nice. I don't know what they'll really work on. Everything's usually like a long sock like this, so you definitely need one of those. So I'll be buying another OEM style one, probably from Advance, or might buy an Acura. They're all the same thing in my opinion. I don't see one being better than the other. I could be wrong. There could be some aftermarket ones that are updated and stuff like that that filtrate more microns and stuff like that, but that's what fuel filters are for as well. This is just a pre-pump. Not saying you should have a shitty filter in your pre-pump, but if I just told you not to use this, then obviously I know that this is a big major deal. So yeah, definitely don't run them shit pump filters they give you. And they upgrade. This is really nice. So here's the upgraded pump. It's a little bit bigger than the other one in size. About the same thing cylinder wise. So we'll fit almost like stock. It is a little bit bigger in diameter, just a tiny bit, but not by much. But this has thicker, this is where it goes through the bulkhead. So we'll just go up like that. And yeah, I might have to cut the wires in the back of this pump and run it to the backside. I'm not sure if this is going to be able to be submerged in fuel or wet by fuel. We'll have to do a little bit more research. I should have. I'm pretty sure this just goes like this. This goes through the top of the bulkhead, or goes through the bulkhead. It goes through the top. And, or it might be able just to connect it right here on this harness, on this fuel pump. So I'll do more research overnight, and then I'll get back to the whole wiring part of it. But this right here is a Walbro fuel pump. I've already said this before, but I can't remember if it's 500 or 550, whatever. But you get the point. So I'm gonna have to borrow stock real quick, but I can still do the hanger mod on it and add the fuel pump in and throw the stock on it, and we should be good to go. I guess I don't really need this rubber, but I'll save it. You never know if you need it. But other than that, I'll be able to do this. Okay, so I did a lot of this off camera because it's literally like really detailed, but I'll go through it with you guys so that way the next person who needs to do it, they have a better idea. There's videos online. Some of the guys just don't have clear video with a bright enough camera. But if I could, let's see if I can focus that on there. But right here, this will be the feed. You have to bend this by hand, just kind of push it. I mean, it moves, it's very delicate. This is the new return. This was once the feed. This is I want to say this is quarter inch, which will now be a 6 AN, and this is the 8 AN feed. What I did was I drilled out the old return line, and what I did was I made it its feed now. So basically now I'm just going to run that hose from here to the fuel pump. Also, I just want to correct everything from what I said about this pump. This pump is a 450. I've been thinking about the 500 or the 525 or 550 Hellcat pump, but honestly, this supports up to 800 horsepower. On the website, it says 700 to 800 horsepower and up. It's obviously a racing 885 pump, so it's a 450. Before anybody says that, yeah, you put the wrong liter per hour on it, it's a 450 LPH. So let's get that out of the way. I corrected that. So now this is my bulkhead for the wire, and they come with gaskets, and I already put this gasket on, so it's going to be hard to see. But there's a nylon washer there, so no fluids go up past that. I didn't feel too comfortable about not putting one there, so I don't know if I might go to the hardware store and find a nylon washer and just put it there. But honestly, it's just for the wires. There's no fuel flowing through here, so it's only keeping the fuel from coming out that way. So that'll do its job. I just have to run the 2 wires. I don't know if you can see it too well, but there's for 2 wires to run through there from that clip, that pigtail. And then this is the 8 AN feed return. I kind of used just a Scotch pad, kind of clean this off. I might do is mask these off real quick, shoot a primer, shoot it with I guess black gloss paint or something. I don't know. It's gonna rust again, but I needed to clean the area, so I made sure that these nylon washers would do the job. Also on here, that return, I don't know if you can see it too well, but that return right there comes up and through here, and you have to cut this bracket. So you'll have to notch it like right there and then go all the way up. And then on this head, you have to grind that down with a Dremel so that that gap, you have to Dremel as much as you can so that surface is flat, because it can't be against anything or angled or fuel will go up there. So all I have to do is, I guess, mount the pump and put it in, and I think that's pretty much it. Might have bent it a little bit by hand, but there we go. That's the way it was before. But I'm gonna go ahead and install this pump, I guess, and we'll just go from there. I don't see anything too exciting. I might have to do is run a big hose clamp, is what most guys do, because you can't zip tie. You can wire tie, but I don't have the wire tie tool, which is the metal straps on there to tighten it down. But what I'll do is I'll grab one of these clamps real quick, put it on there. And then it's pretty much simple. It's the reverse process of taking it off is to put it back on. You don't want to make this, you know, too much of rocket science and just get it done. Because the more you think about doing this stuff right here, the harder it gets. There's one end bigger than the other same diameter, so. This is E85 approved hose from what the website says. I'm just gonna turn it this way so in case I have to go like that, it still flows. Or like this. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out once I get it on. I'll look at some pictures maybe online. Give me an idea. The other one's still in there, so okay. Man, these things are pretty tight tolerance, so you almost, yeah, you have to have it off to put it on. That's a pain in the ass. All right, that was the one thing I was afraid of, is this was not going to thread back in once it was down there, because it's about the same diameter. Which is not bad, because once you tighten it, you know it's tight, so you won't have any issues there. Let's see. I don't want to go extremely tight because I don't want this to break, bend, or anything like that, but that ain't going nowhere. I bought an installation kit from Walbro, and you can see that they want you to feed a 450 with this. I mean, if I would have known this a while back before buying this GV tune, I'd have saved like, I don't know, 12 bucks, 15 bucks that I paid from Walbro. They gave me clamps. And that's one thing I don't like, it's butt connectors. We're gonna solder those wires and put a connector on them. We're not gonna sit there and skimp out on an install, because I ain't about wiring junk. So I'll solder it and put heat shrink tube so it's clean install. I don't want any issues with power to my fuel pump, especially you're going fast, you're going down, you know, and you lose power to that and the car leans out. All your money that you put into that car is just gone. You can say goodbye. If you lean it out too hard, that's the end of that shit. But I'm trying to get better at the speaking stuff. I know you guys probably get bored or like, oh, what is he talking about? He's rambling on again. But you know what? Fuck it, that's what makes me me. You don't like it? You can eat it, you know what? So now the next thing is the mounting of the fuel pump. And I doubt that rubber is gonna fit. Where the fuck did I put that shit? This is why organization is a must. Oh, damn it. Yeah, that's where I threw that. This is just like a insulator stabilizer, so it doesn't like bounce around everywhere. I might be able to make this work, because all I gotta do is just, might be able to just trim this straight across so that it has something to sit in, because it's just to isolate vibrations. Because once it's in there, it sits like this. But I'll go and do some research online, and then I'll get back to this. But it looks like I'm almost done. Wasn't a long install, but I'll get back with you guys. Turbo. Turbo. You excited to see me? Come here. Come here. What are we doing today? What are we doing today? Gonna build a Honda? Come here. Come here. How's your good boy? Come here. Want it? No? Oh, calm down. All right, so it does work. This is a female connector what I was talking about. So that goes on the pump for the relay harness. And then this is a male one, but I might be able just to buy, it's a female plug, but I might be able to just buy the male connectors and just snap them into there. So it might work out. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so next day, get this pump installed. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this rubber. I might trim it, see if it fits. Just need to, it's so glossy, hard to grip. And see where I can get this to work. So what I have to do is grab a razor. I guess there's somebody at the door. Well, my dogs won't be so damn loud. Let's see. Try not to cut too close, because this gets in the it's rubber, so I'm afraid it might cut my fingers. The razor blade I'm talking about, not the. This might be stable enough to hold it now that it's not over. The point is, it stays on good. So now this is a fuel strainer filter from Advance. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, because yesterday I had some trouble with the camera, but that's the number for strainer for Honda. Typical strainer filter. And okay, the clip's right there. So put this rubber on. Let's see how it's gonna go. Like this. try to reuse this clip. Just like a pressure clip. Just apply a little bit of pressure. All it does is retain it, just to keep it from going, because once you push it on, it's kind of like tapered in a sense, where now it's all clipped in and it's on. I just have to grab this rubber, kind of stretch it over that edge right here. And if it doesn't work, I'll just cut it. I mean, I just need it to sit in that tray anyways, so we'll get back to that in a second. So let's see. Pretty sure it went like this. Yeah. So sit it like that, and we'll put the feet on top of there going through here. So let me get this out of the way so I don't cut myself. So get this shit off real quick. There we go. You want it to have a nice flow, so I'm not sure where exactly I want to put this. So like that, and then it's like this. Would be sufficient? I mean, the pump is going to flow regardless, but you don't want any restriction. So let's see. Yeah, it seems like that's what I'm gonna do. So, another fuel pump hose. Take this off real quick. Clamp. The fuck out of here, nigga. Gets warm one day and all these fucking bugs come back out. So I'll go ahead and put that on. Just gotta be careful because it's all plastic and you don't want that shit to break. Might as well just take this off then. No, can't. Alright, so that's on. Make sure you go over the barb, that way the pressure's on. That's correct. so we'll go with this one. So you know, I don't want an extra piece of clamp hanging out. Let's see, that's too big. Too big for my liking on this pump. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, this will work. At least I think. So how's everybody's day going? Hopefully everybody's doing good. Today's the 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. Not very much of a Christmas guy. It's not that I want to be a Grinch or anything. It's just, you know, Christmas is not the same when you don't have your loved ones with you. I mean, I have my family, my inner family, you know, and with COVID, you know, everybody's separate from their families. You know, I miss my relatives, you know, but I really miss my grandfather, my grandmother. Ever since then, never been the same, like holidays used to be. So enjoy it while it lasts, you know, cherish your families and everything. I'm gonna make the best of it with my own, but even if my, you know, grandparents are not here, but I want to make sure that, you know, everybody is having a good time. Spend as much time as you can with your family. Hope everybody has a good Christmas. Like I tell a lot of people, it's not about what you get. It's about the amount of time you get to spend with your family, because you never know when it's your day. I don't want to sound like it's like I'm being down or something, because I'm not. I just, you know, letting everybody know that everything's positive vibes, but you never know. So with that being said, you just got to, I'm just gonna wrap it around this and then come up. You just want to cherish the time, a little bit of time that you have. To get this out without breaking this bulkhead. Let's see. It's coming out slowly. Might be able to just push it out with a flathead or a screwdriver. Let's see. There we go. Anybody's going out drinking, stay your ass home. Make sure you have a ride. Hand your keys over to somebody if you're gonna get a little out of hand, or just have a little bit more than you normally do. Drink responsible. I don't be drinking, so I don't have to worry about that, but doesn't mean that you don't have to worry about others with drunk driving and whatnot. But yeah, pretty much. Off subject. Off that subject, I should say. I think, oops, it's going on an angle, I think. I'll never understand these, how they just go in at a different angle. And then this, since it's plastic on the top, you don't want to go stupid tight. A little bit goes a long way. And I'm not going to use my hand wrench because the top head is plastic. It don't matter if it gets scratched, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. All I gotta do is put which I might bend out of the way so I'm not pouring on top of the pump, even though could keep the pump cooler. Let's see if I can bend it by hand. Get it out of the way. out this way, and I'll put a little bit of hose. Since it's not pressurized, does it really need a clamp? No, but I'll put one on just because. But on the next install, I'm waiting for my aluminum bung for a fan switch, and I'm gonna get it welded to the Skunk 2 aluminum radiator, the EG Rad. I'm gonna take it to my buddy's shop, so I'm gonna give a little shop tour, meet the owners, Josh and Bill, pretty good guys, and you know, the partners like Matt and everybody else. They're all cool guys, awesome shop. They just, you know, they were doing their business outside and they had a smaller shop, but now this big shop, business is blowing up, dyno's down, people are making good power, reliable power at that, and people's setups are actually really freaking clean. Probably the best I've seen personally in West Virginia. So if that tells you anything, I usually don't vouch for anyone unless like I really mean it, and that they're doing big things. They tune in Hondas, Chevys, Nissans, Dodges. I mean, pretty much everything. Mitsubishi, Evos, swap cars. Don't matter. If it can be tuned, Bill can do it. But that's it right there. So we got our 8 amp feed, 6 amp return now. You got the fuel pump wired up. I ran it around, so it's up top, out of the way. It's already clipped. And the feed for the fuel pump now comes through here, and it goes around. There's no sharp crease or anything, so it's still round and it's getting fed up. So as long as it can flow in a nice roundabout consistently, that's what matters. I might trim this off video, just kind of clip it maybe like right there so I have a quarter of it sticking out, because I don't want it to get in the way of anything. Or there's nothing else in the tank, but still, I guess for better keeping. But this is the step bit that I used to drill in the tops. I think one of them was about 9/16 and another hole was about 5/8 to almost 3/4. And I think it turned out pretty good. I'm gonna try to find a little pigtail factory. There we go with the ums. Jesus. Anyways, the pigtail for the fuel pump, because I had to break it off, and I don't want to use two connectors just like loose and snap them into the harness, even though it's going to be safe. And still, I kind of want that factory pigtail so I can clip it in after I solder those 2 wires up. But I think this came out pretty sweet. Just a normal JB tuned fuel pump hanger mod. I'll just put that right there. But if you guys need anything, JB tuned. I'll see if I can get this directly in the camera. So there's JB tuned. Here's all the information. If you guys need, you know, any parts or anything, he's really cool to hit up. I've messaged him multiple times before, and he's always got back to me really quick. And on any installation issues or anything like that in the past, he's hit me up and we got it solved right away. But yeah, Facebook, Instagram, and he ships pretty fast actually too, and he's got good quality products and he backs up his products pretty well. So that's done with that. All I got to do is just install it back in the tank after I trim this piece, because I want to trim it. And then I guess the next install will be the feed line, return line, fed from the tank all the way forward, so I'll have to take off all the factory feed lines, the emission tube, which I might just cut with a line cutter. I might just cut that and get it off, but I think I'll cut it like halfway through the car so it's not in the bay anymore, because that big tube does take up a lot of space, and we'll get more installs going. If you guys like this, let me know. Sometimes it's kind of hard to be your own content creator. I see why a lot of YouTube guys take forever to upload something, because I mean, you really have to draw it down, write it down. You come up with ideas in your head, you forget them, or you write them down, or you just immediately stop what you're doing, go record it. That's what I've been doing. I'm trying to find a niche to how well I can do this. I'm finally getting to go back to work this weekend. Fingers crossed. I miss work so bad. Been out of work for about 2 months. Only worked about 2 days and went right back on quarantine again. But other than that, that wraps up the 450 E85 Walbro fuel pump and JB tuned fuel pump hanger mod. And I should say this came out pretty sweet. So like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys are commenting. Let me know what you think. Anything, you know, suggestions I should do, like, you know, towards the next episode or something like that, something you guys want to see. I do have other things I can do, but just need the ideas, and you guys, you know, helping me out, giving me ideas helps create more better content. Other than that, happy holidays. You guys stay safe. God bless. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so it was a big pain to install. Definitely a lot harder than just a stock pump, because there's all this extra stuff hanging around the side of it. And then for me, bending this out this way, it was above this and I wouldn't let it go down when I finally shoved it down. So I had to rebend the tube back by hand. And then I installed this and I pushed it down a little bit so fitting again on there. I think I'm going to do is lower the tank down so I can add the lines real nice to it later on. But it should be pretty simple now. Just connect this back to this right here, and this factory plug right here to the pump. See how it has 2 connections right there? I want a female connector that I can put on there and make it all work out real nice. But I'll do some research online and come back and see if I can find it. I didn't paint the top of the hanger because it's just, ain't nobody gonna see it, and I don't know, it's just not something. Once everything's covered up, I mean, as you can see, that's it.